So this is one of the examples in this chapter that are pretty difficult for students just because there's a lot of steps. It's not difficult steps, it's just a lot of them, so students get turned off by it. What we need to use is the Pythagorean theorem in the trapezoid to find the height, perimeter, and area. First thing we have to do is find the height because we can't find the area without the height of the trapezoid. One place to start that's really nice though is labeling the trapezoid, and we may be able to find something more easily than we think. So one of the bases is 35, the other is 25, and the sides are 7. So you might notice that right now we could find the perimeter. Perimeter is going to be equal to 35 plus 25 plus 7 plus 7. So this is 60 plus 14 is 74. We'll just call it centimeters. So P is 74 centimeters. All right, we're 1/3 done. Now this is the part that's difficult for students to remember. They have to drop 2 lines down and make a rectangle. Rectangles have 90 degrees, which means we've created some right triangles on the edges here. But if this side is 25 and you drop that down, this is also 25. But we know the full base is 35. So that means there's 10 remaining that we need to account for. If you take that 10 and split it 5 and 5, 25 plus 5 plus 5 gets you to your original 35 units. That's the hardest part. What we need to do now is we need to zoom in on this triangle and use it to calculate the height. That's the only thing we're doing with that. The only thing we're doing is using it to find the height. So normally we have a squared plus b squared equals c squared, but this time a is h. That's the height that we're looking for. So we're going to replace that. And b is 5 squared equals c is 7 squared. So we have h squared plus 25 equals 49. And then to solve, we subtract 25 from both sides. Chunga chunga, h squared equals 24. Then we square root both sides. H equals, let me calculate this. .90. It comes out to 4.8989 blah blah blah. But because that third digit is an 8, that 9 becomes a 10, so this 89 becomes a 90. That's a tricky rounding problem. So we know h is 4.90 centimeters. Now we have to go back to the original. So we're going to go find the area of the trapezoid. Remember the formula is 0.5 times the height times the sum of the bases. Half the height times the sum of the bases. Well, we know most of that. 0.5 times the height we just found was 4.9. And the bases we know are 25 and 35. Again, back to the original. So I have to do as much of this mentally as I can. I'm going to do half of 25 plus 35 is 60. The commutative property says I can move this to the front, so I moved it here. Half of 60 is 30. So 30 times 4.90 is 147. Please note that if you wanted to, you guys, you could put this into your calculator. I just didn't want to be typing on my calculator during the video, so I did as much mentally as I could and got it down to here.